outside to follow me. Crete, I'm Jan. I'm going to tell you a little bit about olive oil and our product. We start off outside just to tell you about the wheel. This is how they used to produce olive oil, and they used this wheel until 60 years ago, so not that long ago. In the winter months they would harvest their olives, bring the olives down to the farm that would have one of these wheels. All of the olive is placed inside, so the olive, the seed, the leaf, part of the tree. They would harness a donkey, it's hard, pulls it around, and the wheels will grind it down into a paste. It was a long process. It took the donkey approximately 7 hours to do 1 ton of olives, and there are many tons of olives to get through.
Poor donkey.
Poor donkey. Once they got it into a paste, they would scrape it to the side, collect it, and over to the press. The paste between the mats. The mat acted as the filter. They pile the mats right the way up, and then slowly bring the press down. As it comes down, it squeezes it. The oil runs off and is collected into a container at the base.
Wow.
The olive by nature contains the oil but also water, so here is a mixture. You take it home, you leave it for 24 hours, it will do a natural separation. The water will separate and go to the bottom, and the olive oil rises. 60, 70 years ago the world was changing and they started to look at a better way to produce olive oil, a faster way. It's led to the machines and factories we have now. You can take your olives at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and they'll ring you at 8 o'clock in the evening to come and collect your oil. Here you could wait 4 or 5 weeks for the farmer to even start doing your olives. The longer the olive is off the tree, it's changing its chemical compound, so you're not getting the best olive oil that you possibly get. The other thing was hygiene. This is so unclean. There is a donkey. There is humans. Add some flies and bugs in the mixture. It was an oil probably better for your immune system rather than for your vascular system. All right, now everything's produced in factories and clinical conditions. All right, let's go inside, get you out the sun. So, we are a small family company that's been in operation for the last 16 years. This is our relatively new factory, it's 4 years old. We work very closely with the village of Kritsa, which is where you're going today. Here we work with about 300 families. They do their olive harvest in the winter, they turn their olives into oil, and we buy the oil from the village. So it's a cooperative we buy from the village. Normally this is November, December, but for us we start collecting olives the last week in October, and this is to produce agarello oil, early harvest oil. For this, the olive is still green. It hasn't changed colour yet from purple black. It will become into December. The reason we take the olive so early is just before it ripens. It's very high in polyphenol, which is what is good for your heart. Unfortunately, it does not have a lot of oil. So to make 1 litre of this oil, we need at least 12 kilos of olives. Wow. So we make a limited amount, then we move on. The factory. We work very closely with Kritsa, which is where you're going now, alright? So we work with about 300 families from the village. They do the olive harvest November, December, collect the olives, and then we buy the olive oil from the village rather than individuals. Normally this is November, December, but we actually start collecting olives in October, the last week in October. This is to produce our first oil, agarello. So the olive is still green, it hasn't changed colour. The reason we take it produces a thicker oil anyway. We take it so early because it's very full of polyphenol, which is what is good for your heart. The riper the olive gets, the phenol starts dipping a little bit. It doesn't come down a lot, it starts coming down. So it's pink and starts coming down. Because it's not ripe, we need at least 12 kilos of olives to do 1 litre of oil. So we make a limited amount and then move on. Next 2 oils, this is the one in the centre, is the Corona oils. The one I put out today is the organic. Nearly all the oils in Crete are organic oils that don't use chemicals and fertilisers. But to be able to put the word organic on your label, there's a load of what it costs. 5 years in the ground. One of the main rules of the organic is where your trees are located, you have to have a 1 kilometre border around your trees, which is why nobody's claiming them as organics, because there's no land to do that. So we're very high up in the mountains. Olive trees hate it. but a major attitude that produces a tiny, tiny little olive. And even though we take it from the tree when it's ripe and full of oil, the olive is that small, we still need 10 kilos of olives to really air oil. Last one, first three, we recommend unvehicle foods. Salad, bread, cheese, if you drink olive oil. They're so full of vitamins and phenol, and when you heat olive oil to cook with it, you lose a lot of this. You don't lose it all. Fantastic oil to cook with. But don't buy a more expensive one and cook with it. You're wasting your money. If you want an oil for cooking of the salad, then the last one. This is what we all have in the house. We use it for everything. All right. What you're more used to is olive oil. It's what you buy throughout Europe. This is like the standard olive oil that most people are. That's about it. Alright?
Thank you. Kalamata.
Kalamata, well this is the Kalamata olive.
Yes, I know, I've already had one.
This actually contains more oil than this does.
Yes.
That's about 40% water. And that's only about 3%.
Yes.
So even though it's a tiny olive, we get more
olive.
Yeah.
More oil for the olive.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much.
So the first one is blackcurrant. We have got fig and orange.
Did you say that was fig?
Yes, in the middle it's fig, blackcurrant, fig and orange.